We're here at Tollgate Campground, Mount Hood National Forest. Let's go check out the sights. Here is site 14. Here's our picnic table, our fire pit, obviously our driveway. You got the highway right next to you to the right, so that's suboptimal. Here's also your forest road. So this is like nestled right next to the highway, so you're gonna hear cars day and night. This is a horrible site. I would not do 14, keeping it real. Here is site 13. At least this one's a little farther down from the highway, although you can still hear the road noise in the background, but it's not right up against it. And you got some good shade here. You got a picnic table, your fire pit, probably put your tent over there in that flat area. Let's come over here, yeah, next fire pit. I will say that you do kind of have this conjoined area with what looks like a group site right next to you. There's two picnic tables and a fire pit, so that's horrible lot lines. Kind of an interesting, twisted Dr. Seuss Tim Burton tree, but in the plus column, you do have a lot of shade. Here to the right is a trail access point, so that's convenient. Shade's good, trail access is good, but the privacy lines are horrible. Here is campsite 12. It is a double site. In fact, it is more than a double site. So you've got two picnic tables over here, the fire pit, but you also have two picnic tables over here. First, I thought maybe this was two different sites, but 11 is over a ways down the road, so this is all 12 is what I'm surmising. So you have this picnic table, this fire pit, this picnic table, and these are the riverside, north banks of Zigzag River. And then looking this way, you've got these two picnic tables and this fire pit. Let's come down here. So you got these two picnic tables and this fire pit. So 4 picnic tables and 2 fire pits, pretty impressive for one site. I will say they did not put much effort into the lot lines. Right there is 13. So they didn't really even think about it. You got a straight shot to 13. That is not great privacy. But if you're over here, then you have a lot better privacy and you're on the riverside. So let's come over here, see what our river access is to Zigzag River, the north banks. It's like a little bit of a trail system. You go either way. I'm gonna go to the left. And look at this. This is pretty gorgeous. So this is impressive. I'm loving this. This might make this site worth it just to come down here. Look at this. Now that, my friend, is gorgeous. The beautiful Zigzag River. This is the north banks of Zigzag River here in Mount Hood National Forest. And I gotta say, pretty darn beautiful. I'm here at Tollgate Campground, and this is a little side trail from the group site 12. And I will come on back to our campground. So we've got 4 picnic tables at this group site and 2 fire pits. I will also show you there's a secondary side trail. Gives you yet another viewing vantage point of Zigzag River. So let's go on down. It's just pretty short here, and here we are. Oh my gosh, look at how beautiful that is. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed by site 12. It's the gift that keeps on giving. You got 2 really high quality viewing areas of Zigzag River, the north banks. And look at that, absolutely beautiful. Let's hike back to the site. So there's 4 picnic tables, 2 on one side, 2 on the other, and each cluster of 2 has its own fire pit. And voila, we are already back to the site. I will say this, straight ahead there, that is site 13. Here's part of 12, so that is not good sight lines for privacy. They did not do a good job as far as that aspect of it. No consideration, I think, to the sight lines, but remember you have the 2 over here and you're on the riverside over there, so I would probably shade more to the riverside anyway. Straight ahead, so you can see you have the bathroom, so it is relatively close. Here's site 11. Got your picnic table, your fire pit. This is an inner site. Typically they feel a little bit more fishbowl than landlocked to me. I don't like the privacy lines as much. Let's see here. Over here, probably put your tent over here somewhere, flat ground. On the inside though, you're landlocked. You got the forest road, campground road going all the way around you. You're not on the riverside. So I probably wouldn't pick site 11. Feels pretty exposed. Not a fan. Here's campsite 10. You've got your parking, you got your picnic table and your fire pit. Little bit of section of forest. This is an inner campsite, so I typically don't like these because the lot line's a little bit fishbowled. Over there you've got the bay up against Zigzag River of 876,543, so I would definitely rather be over there rather than kind of on this intersection, so I would not pick 10. Here is campsite number 9. Got your driveway, picnic table, fire pit. You got a fence because you're up against north banks of Zigzag River. Not a big fan of this one, candidly. Your access is blocked on like 6, 7, 8, and 9. Got the restroom right there, but I probably wouldn't pick 9. Here's campsite 8, and you got 7 right there as far as privacy line. That's probably the only ding, but here's your parking, here's your picnic table and your fire pit. Pretty good shade. And I think the best part is you're right next to Zigzag River, the north banks. Come down here. Requires a little bit of sure footing, but it's not too sketchy. Most people have to be able to go down this little section. And in fact, let's go down. Too bad. And here you are. Come put your seats maybe right here. Cop a squat and enjoy the beauty that is Zigzag River. This is a pretty good site. As I look back up, if you get both 7 and 8 as a group play, then you kind of take over this section of Zigzag River, and this entire shoreline area from 7 and 8 is yours. And you can just sit on the shoreline in your Cabela's chairs and enjoy the beauty that is the north banks of Zigzag River. Okay, so I'm at site 7. This might be one of, if not the best site here. You got your parking, you got your picnic table. As far as lot lines, you do have 8 right next to you, so that's probably the biggest ding. But as far as proximity to Zigzag River, the north banks, look at this. You are right up against the river, and you got a good section of forest here. Come down here and play. Requires a little bit of able-bodied sure footing, but it's not too sketchy. You can literally climb all the way down here, see the path, go to the shoreline down there. You can go to the shoreline down there, take a couple seats down there, some chairs, and just sit back and enjoy the beautiful Zigzag River. So as far as group plays, if you grab 7 and 8, they're right next to each other. You basically take over an entire swath of the shoreline of Zigzag River, and both campsites have their own little walking trail down to multiple vantage points and shoreline access points. So I'm thinking that very well could be one of the best plays here is a group play. Grab 7 and 8 and have this entire section of Zigzag River, the north banks, as your dominion. I think it's a good idea. Here is campsite 6. Over there is 7. Here's your driveway. I will also add forest road, dumpsters, and let's walk this way. So here is your picnic table and your fire pit. Because of the lot lines with the trees, it's pretty exposed in the middle of the day. It's around noon and this is pretty sunny. Probably the best part is your proximity shoreline to Zigzag River. Let's come down and take a look. First off, I'm going to come down here and see this flat spot right here. That's probably a great place to put your tent. So you put your tent down there and you're right against the Zigzag River, north banks. Come down here. And look at this right here. Put your tent right here. I don't know if they put this rock here to try to block that, but that's my current thinking. Come down here and you're in a river wonderland, old growth forest river wonderland. Get all these multiple vantage points. Got a little shore right here, a little beach. get your feet wet. I probably wouldn't go down the river because that's dangerous, but pretty awesome. And look at the beauty. Here at Site 6, Tollgate Campground, Mount Hood National Forest. Pretty darn epic. If you're looking for 3 sites, I think 6, 7, 8's a winner. If you're looking for 2, then either 6 and 7 or 7 and 8. Pretty darn amazing. I'm standing here on the shoreline of Zigzag River, the North Banks, here in Mount Hood National Forest, Oregon. And this is your Shoreline Access here at campsite number 6. I'm thinking maybe you can get your tent right here. They might have put this rock here to prevent that, but that would be a great place to put your tent. Here's the rest of your Shoreline Access, not too shabby. And let's walk back up to our picnic table. Here's our picnic table. Here's our fire pit, and there is the restroom. So this swath of forest is your domain if you pick Site 6. Pretty darn amazing. Here is Site 5. Nice long driveway. The picnic table and your fire pit. Here on the riverside. Got river on really every direction from here. And look at that. That's pretty cool. You've got the river right from your picnic site. Down there you can see you got 6, 7, and 8. So this bay of 4 is really the best, the creme de la creme, I think, of this site. And you got to be uber careful because look how steep this is. I mean, this is very dangerous, particularly at night. You got to have situation awareness because if you fall at this at night, you could really hurt yourself. Depending on the distance you fall, the angle, there's rocks down there, and there's eventually the water. That could be hyper dangerous. So absolutely beautiful. It'd be fun to pop a Cabela's chair right here and look down on the river all day, but you got to be mindful of your hazards. Gotta say, pretty amazing. So this is your long driveway, as you can see, pretty long driveway. And as I said, 6 is over there. So you got pretty good distance between you and 6. So these are really actually well spaced out. This is probably your main access point. See down here, you can go all the way down to the river pretty easily. So I'm not going to do it, but you get the idea. I gotta say, campsite 5, pretty darn epic. Imagine sitting at this picnic table and overlooking beautiful Zigzag River. I gotta say, campsite 5, pretty darn epic. Here's campsite 4. Candidly, I think it's one of the worst ones. Not right up against the banks of Zigzag River. So it's kind of fishbowled right here. This is kind of it. So I probably wouldn't do 4. Okay, so here's campsite 3. You've got the parking, picnic table, and fire pit. Kind of a cramped site, but you are on the riverside. So let's go take a look. Love this Dr. Seuss type tree. Come down here, you do actually have a couple access points right here and straight ahead right here down to Shoreline. So you do have a pretty good swath. Look at that beautiful section of Zigzag River, North Banks. So you got wide, expansive views, and you can go down there, see down there. You could maybe even put your tent down there if you want to and be right on the river. So that's pretty intriguing. So I gotta say, 3 is pretty good. One of the cool parts of campsite 3 is you could theoretically probably put your tent down here somewhere if you wanted to. There's a nice flat area here, depends on the size of your tent, but you've got this shoreline banks area, multiple vantage points and access points to Zigzag River. And look at this, probably your best access point right here as far as just raw beauty. Now, that's pretty gorgeous. Here's spot 2. It's kind of interesting. You have a bit of a hike to get down to your campsite. whatever this is, 50, 60, 70 feet to carry all your gear. So that adds a little bit more work, but nothing too crazy. Once you get down here, you got a little bit of an island oasis to yourself. Great shade, I would say. Great privacy. Still do have the road noise because the highway's so close, no way to get around that. But look at these old growth forest trees. Look up at this. Pretty epic. Picnic table, fire pit. Doesn't have the shoreline exposure of 5, 6, 7, and 8 as far as the views, but it does have its own private little side trail right there. It only leads you to a little section of the river, like a little touch point, not a vast shoreline. Let's see what your access is down to Zigzag River and the North Banks. Yeah, you got pretty good access. Watching out for spiderwebs, and the first time we've done this in like 6 months. So yeah, you do have private access. It's just a small little section. So I'd say for that reason, your access to the river is pretty weak compared to, let's say, 5, 6, 7, 8. So definitely subpar on the river versus 5, 6, 7, and 8, but premium as far as shade and privacy. So trade-off in life. If you want privacy and shade, this is the play. If you want kind of more of a river experience, I do 5, 6, 7, 8, but 2's not bad. I think the infrastructure at Tollgate Campground leaves a little something desired. I think this is the group site. I think that number right there is defunct. You got a picnic table. You got what looks like a group shelter. The shelter itself looks pretty nice. Some good shade in there in case it rains. It is PNW, Oregon. And got another picnic table right there. Fire pit. Looks like water next to that tree. Let's come in here and take a look at the shelter. This is very high quality, well-built shelter. Rustic log style, which is my favorite. And let's go in here. Got a picnic table and a hearth. This is pretty gorgeous, actually. I'm pretty blown away by this. This group picnic shelter is legit. Let me show you the roof. Pretty darn epic if you ask this kid. I'm always a sucker for a rustic log shelter. There's your fireplace, your hearth. Pretty awesome, I gotta say. Pretty awesome indeed. You hear all the road noise behind me. That kind of is a bummer. You kind of feel like you can still see the cars going by the highway. That kind of sucks. You know, don't feel like I'm out in the forest with the pin drop silence by any stretch of the imagination. You gotta talk over the cars the whole time. But look at that. That is gorgeous. I'm standing here in the group picnic shelter, Tollgate Campground, Mount Hood National Forest, Oregon. As you can see, this is a high quality rustic log shelter, very well built, pretty darn awesome. Gotta say, I'm pretty blown away by the quality of this rustic log shelter. Let's keep looking at the infrastructure. You got a couple benches here, got a picnic table, fire pit, water spigot. But I think the piece de resistance is this hearth. I'm gonna pan up one more time and show you the awesomeness that is this construction. This is excellent craftsmanship. The group picnic shelter, rustic log, cabin style, here at Tollgate Campground, Mount Hood National Forest in Oregon. Pretty awesome. So we got site 5, got the restroom right here, and park here, carry your gear down here. And here's your picnic table. Seems like a pretty narrow fire pit. I don't know what's going on there. I guess you can build a fire and there's a little bit of a grate there for a barbecue, so that works. And here's your path. There's a path back to the forest road. See what comes over here. Oh, you do have another picnic table over there from a different site, so a little crammed. Let's come take a look at the access to the river, which may be one of the main draws of coming here. Yeah, this is nice. It's like a pretty epic section of river. Pan over here. So you do have good river access. Maybe bring your chairs over here. So you gotta climb this log. But yeah, look at the incredible Zigzag River. We're sitting here on the north banks of Zigzag River, and look at the confluence of water right here. This just keeps going, doesn't it? Go down there. on over here, take a couple steps this way, and look at this. This keeps going down the river. Here is spot 4, picnic table. Very cool. Here is site 3. You've got this little creek running through our campground, very beautiful. A picnic table and fire pit. Here is site 2. You got a picnic table, some infrastructure. Got the highway right behind you. You can hear the cars going by me. Not great privacy. This site 1, keeping it real. You have this little still creek down here. Not the highest on the beauty, candidly. There's a lot more beautiful stuff in the Mount Hood area than this. And the downside is this is going to draw mosquitoes. It's kind of still boggy, swampy water. So I guess it's good for humidity, but not so great for mosquitoes. So I don't view this as a feature that you would want to be near to sacrifice proximity to the highway and your poor lot lines with site 1. So site 2 is not great. Here is site 1. I got your picnic table and some infrastructure. You do have site 2 right next to you, and you're right in front of the highway. The highway's right behind you, right when you turn into the campground. So you can hear I have to yell to even talk over the cars. So this is horrible as far as background noise from the vehicles. You got this little creek beneath you. Candidly, it's not the prettiest creek, so it's not much of a visual appeal. And you do have the bug aspect, mosquitoes, etc. It's got that bog feel. So I don't know if it's more of an asset or liability, candidly, to have this creek running right behind you. Not too impressed. So this is pretty steep. It looks like you got some trails back there. I don't know where that leads to, but see what I'm saying? I don't think this creek is that great, all things considered.